Hi, this is Dave Bisbee coming to you from the beautiful Seven Canyons here in Sedona, Arizona. I'm joined today by Mike Rendy, TPI certified level 3 medical professional, and we're going to talk about using the swing ring to train the physical motion in the swing, and then what this swing ring can tell us, Mike, about some of our challenges in range of motion, things like that.
Yeah, and we'll look exactly at your specific swing, Dave, today and check that out.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so I'm going to make a couple little swings here. Anybody who has used this swing ring knows how good this is for getting a real sense, a kinesthetic sense, for where that club should go in a proper swing motion. It's really the ideal plane here. And using the ring, we can go to our checkpoints, get to the top of the backswing, get to our checkpoint for contact, keep that on the ring all the way to the finish until we get to the end of that motion. It's a really great way to create some muscle memory in how that swing feels if we get off that ring on the way down where we get over the top of it, or if we try to get too far inside, the swing ring just won't let that happen. So Mike, one of the things that this really illustrates with my own motion is that I have this limitation in my range of motion in the backswing.
Glaring.
Yes. So when I get to the top of my backswing, that's it. That is as far as I can get that club back.
So let me have you just relax and let's see if you can get any further.
Yeah.
So that might be a stability issue here where we could gain a little bit of range with that because you're used to your muscle memory, or there is, in theory, we've learned there is no such thing as muscle memory. It's all
right.
neuromotor connections.
Neuromotor connections
from the brain.
Correct.
And so,
yeah.
But you've had this swing pattern for so long, and where I notice with you, you are amazingly fast. You generate so much speed in your downswing from here to here.
Well, and I think that again, that is, people will tend to create compensations for those things. In my own case, I had a really severe back injury that limits that amount of X factor you hear people talk about. And that's just simply the amount of shoulder turn you can create versus hip turn in that backswing. It's that separation. For me, that back is really stiff, and so that tends to be my full range of motion there. And we've talked about this before, and now I'm going to start trying to do some of these things, some stretches and all, to get a little deeper into that backswing motion. So if we were to look at that from another angle, look at this from this angle, face on. I want to talk a little bit about some of the things. One, it's debunking one of those big, it's the catch-all phrase for every missed shot in golf is you looked up. And this is for those guys out there that are telling somebody in your group, you keep your head down, I'll watch where the ball goes. Anytime that you're doing that, we start to see these swings that look kind of like that on the way through. And yeah, and what that really does is all of a sudden your body is in a position where it creates strain and stress on the body.
Absolutely.
Right? So if I keep that head down and I end up here, where am I going to feel that pain? Where am I going to get those injuries?
Well, if you look at it, you're trying to stabilize over that ball and keep yourself from the momentum that you've just created.
Yeah.
And then to swing more, your ball's not going as far, your 7-iron's going as far as your 5-iron, and your
right.
You're all hitting the ball about 120 yards, no matter what club you use. You've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happening there. Is you are decelerating, trying to keep your head down. You are not just allowing the natural follow through there.
Yeah, and I think part of what we try to tell golfers here is there's a difference between keeping your head down and keeping your eye on the ball. And keeping your eye on the ball would look like that. As that club traces that plane line on the way through, your head rotates so your eyes are watching the flight of that golf ball. And you really end up in what we call a very neutral position for the finish.
Right. There's no strain on the body at that point.
Exactly.
And what I liked, if you can go back to your follow through there, what I like with this, when I like to see, the lumbar spine is not supposed to have hardly any rotation here. So it's almost like that lumbar spine is moving, and so many guys you'll see with this going on,
Oh, yeah.
twisting.
Yeah.
And it's the thoracic spine that's meant to move. And so having that nice facing down line where the ball went in that nice position, relaxed, perfect.
Yeah, and I think if you look at a lot of the golfers that we work with, they're in their 50s, 60s to 70 years old, and so they may not be doing the kinds of things to keep themselves stretched, to keep themselves strong, and all of that physical activity. But one of the things that I've noticed with students is once they start to get the idea of keeping their eye on the ball and getting to hear, power increases, and they're having to hit that Advil bottle a lot less.
Yes.
It is also, I think, Mike, for me with my back injury, when I get to this finish position and everything is really stacked and neutral, I don't have any strain back there. It's those people who try to stay behind it and get to that old reverse C with that nice high finish. Those are the ones that are going to have that back trouble.
Those are the people I see every day.
Yeah. Now we're going to take a look at this from another angle. So we're going to make this a little reverse here, Mike. We've got you inside the ring now, and I'm going to kind of take Mike through some of these positions that this ring will help him to perfect. So give me just your setup, Mike. So one of the things that we've worked with Mike is making sure that we get these shoulders to parallel the target line. He likes to get this shoulder out in front just a little bit. So when he looks back, that shoulder should be kind of in line with that plane ring. Perfect, perfect. So Mike, let's go to the top of your backswing. Excellent. So there, you can see Mike's hands are even with that ring, and that club, so the roller is right on that ring. Now that's an important thing for him in his swing because, Mike, let's show where you typically would want to go.
Where I want to go is here.
Is there, yeah. And you can see how far off of the ring Mike got there. Now, some might feel like that's more extension, but it's actually height versus width. If Mike gets back to the ring back there, it's a much wider swing and gives him much more time as he swings that club down to catch up and create power. Yeah. So for Mike, he gets that shoulder out of the way, top of that backswing and stop for me. Oh, if I could only get it back that far. So now his hands are even with the ring and that club is right on that ring. And as that club swings back down, Mike can turn through, and now you can see how Mike has really turned through and his weight is really loaded on that target side. The other thing that Mike does when he gets off plane is he falls away from it to create space on the way back down. So that feeling of getting it there and then hitting and falling back, that's Mike's compensation when he gets off plane. So the swing ring really does help you to sense where the positions are. So let's take that, there you go, shoulder square, perfect, right there. Go ahead and go through. Excellent, and that's that perfect finish. And that's that finish we're talking about where shoulders are level, hips are level, he's facing the target, admiring the flight of that fantastic shot. So this is this segment is all about using the swing ring, using it effectively, and then letting the swing ring also show us some of the limitations we might have in terms of range of motion, and maybe some bad ideas about where the club should be and what positions it should be in. So the swing ring sits right outside the fitness center here at Seven Canyons, and it's here for you to use. So come out, grab one of the rollers, get on that swing ring, keep it on the ring. All right, Mike, we've arrived at the first tee, and you know me, warming up means turning on the seat heater when I'm driving the car into the parking lot. I don't go down to the range and hit balls. I don't warm up in that way. I just really head to the first tee. So what is something that someone like me, or just somebody who arrives at the course a little too late to go down and hit balls, but they want to get a little bit loosened up before they play, what can we do on the first tee?
Sure. Well, so just like you have a pre-shot routine for hitting a ball every shot, you have your routine.
Yeah.
What if we incorporate a golf cart stretch as your routine? You get into your game. Who knows what the drive-in was? You rush to get here. So now let's get you into golf mode, and let's use this guy right here, this golf cart. I'll show you some stretches to get you into your golf routine, to
Great.
get you ready for the game.
Great. Mike's going to show us some stretches, the way to use the golf cart to get ready to hit that first tee ball.
So Dave, I like to get the most bang for my buck, which means I'm going to try to stretch as many joints as possible, as quick as possible, and loosen up, work on some breathing. And then if you have some targeted areas for you, your upper back, make sure that's a little bit looser, show you some of those things.
Great.
So the first thing I would do is just step up onto the cart, hands here, and you're just going to drive into the cart, maybe get your head looking up, rounding back out, drive up. So I'd like to exhale coming back, inhale as you come up. Okay.
Great.
Switch legs. All right, that's one of them.
And that really looks like it's opening up your chest and your back and everything and getting some good stretch.
Some good
in there.
stretch. The other thing is that we want to make sure that we're loose through here. So we do so much on computers, we're tight. So just grab a hold here and stretching out. You could actually stretch across your arms that way, include your neck and head.
Yeah.
Lean into it, get a little bit of length through there.
A little separation,
stretch,
yep.
little separation. You could also do the other side and then stretch the back side as well, leaning into that and moving your hips. There's a number of things like that, just getting it loose.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just coming down to the first tee, we can actually use the golf cart as our apparatus
Yes.
for doing a little stretching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then from kind of the waist down, getting the hamstrings ready, that, are there a couple of things we can do on the cart with that as well?
For hamstrings, I actually like to bend over, and I'm really supporting myself here and leaning back and getting down as far as I can go. You may want to do it a couple of times. First one, inhale, breathe out, take it down to about where you're starting to stretch. Breathe in again, take it down a little bit deeper, hang out there for a few seconds, come back up, that type of thing. So that would be a great hamstring stretch one for you.
Good. And I would never be able to get that low. Yeah, maybe in a few segments down the road. But I think that's a great way, Mike, they're really working from the ground up. Everything kind of activates everything, stretches everything, gets everything ready for that first big swing.
Sure. It's same thing with the hips. If you plant your hip here, make sure that that's stable and we can just move around.
Yeah.
Getting those hips open, the external, internal.
And that kind of gives you that feel of that rotation
same
through on the through swing.
Right.
Well, great. I think those are some really good ideas for, and I never really thought about that, using the golf cart as one, for stability, and two, to give you something to anchor to help to stretch and get yourself ready to hit that first tee ball. Thanks for tuning in.